Hello everybody, good afternoon or good evening and good morning from London. My name's David Lefebvre. I'm here with my colleagues Sarah and Annie, and we're going to tell you about Epigeum's plagiarism course. Two of us are going to talk today. This is me on the left. I'm David Lefebvre. I'm a co-founder of Epigeum, and I'm here with my colleague Sarah Vaughan. And say hello, Sarah.
Hi.
Okay, we're going to explain how the Epigeum plagiarism online course can help you reduce the instances of plagiarism at your institution. And these are the 5 things we're going to do. So first, I'll give you a short background to Epigeum, who they are, where it came from, an overview of the Avoiding Plagiarism course. Then I'll hand over to Sarah, who actually give a demonstration so you can see what this course looks like. Then we'll give you some instances of student feedback, and at the end we'll answer any questions you have. So as we're giving the presentation, if you have any questions, please post them in the box, and we'll either answer them as we go along or we'll answer them at the end. So first, onto a background to Epigeum. So Epigeum was founded in 2005 as a spin-out from Imperial College London, and it was acquired by Oxford University Press this year. So it's Oxford University Press is a department of Oxford University. So Epigeum's not-for-profit. It's wholly owned by the university sector. We're a leading publisher of online courseware designed to transform the way in which universities and colleges support their core activities of research, teaching and learning. So we don't do the core curriculum, but we do all the little subjects that sit around the curriculum, like how to do research, statistics, how to teach online learning, and in this case, avoiding plagiarism. And we've got 78 online courses across 12 programs. We build courses in quite a unique way. The reason Epigeum was formed out of Imperial College is that I have a position at Imperial College, and we found that building very high quality online courseware ourselves was very expensive, and so we started building online courses with other universities. So we started putting together these groups of universities that we call development groups to build courseware together, and this sort of lowers the costs and increases the quality for everybody. And the plagiarism course is no exception. So this was built by a group of universities working together for 12 months, testing the courses with their students, etc. And now the courses are ready. We're licensing them to other universities to keep the project going. We're still based in London. We're still based right next to Imperial College, but we've been global from the outset. So we work with institutions across the world, from the US, across Europe, India, Singapore, Hong Kong, and of course we work a lot in Australia and New Zealand. So why a course on avoiding plagiarism? So of all the courses we release, this is our most popular one, and the reason is that plagiarism remains a common problem in universities. So it's not a new problem, but it's a problem that maybe is growing and remains a common problem. It's a common point of pain for those of us on the teaching side, and it also creates anguish for students and the university as well. So it's not a pleasant problem to have, and if it can be reduced, then that's a very positive thing. This course takes a different approach to most online resources of this type. The idea is to create positive messages about the importance of academic integrity. We believe this is far more successful than simply punishing students. Many instances of plagiarism are accidental, and if the students were given more adequate training, then they reduce, and that's what we found, as we'll show later. So we built a course a few years ago. It's been continually refined every year, and it also sits within its own virtual learning environment. So what is the Avoiding Plagiarism course system? Well, I'll read this out. It's a concise but comprehensive course on how to avoid plagiarism and how to correctly use citations and references. So used in conjunction with its accompanying online learning system or your own institution's VLE LMS, the course will give you assurance that all your students have been adequately prepared for their assignments. And as we'll show later, the students certainly believe this is the case. The Avoiding Plagiarism course can minimise the risk of negligent claims against the institution. If the students take the course, they state that they have been trained in and they have a good understanding of plagiarism within the course. Just to clarify about the delivery system, so the course is separate to the platform. So you can use the platform, you can use the course in your own VLE, and we help you install that. So if you have Moodle or Blackboard or Canvas, we can put this course into your system very easily. Alternatively, you can use our system, which enables you to get up to speed very quickly. It's your choice. So what does the course look like? Well, one of the things we do at Epigeum, we take the pedagogy very seriously. So we came out of an educational technology lab at Imperial, and so the course is highly interactive. Diagnostic, and it's got diagnostic and assessment tests, comic strips, practice exercises, student views, scenarios, examples, etc. And what we've done over the years is evaluate different aspects of the course. If something's working, we leave it. If something's not working, we change it. So over the years, we've refined the course, and as you'll see later, the response from the students has been very positive. I'll talk more about how the system's actually used in a minute, but I think that let's look at the course. So we'll jump in and give a demonstration of the course right now. After that, we'll talk about how you can use it, how to get up and running, how it's implemented, and give you some student feedback. Okay, I'll hand over to Sarah.
Thanks, David. So now I'm going to give a brief demonstration of some of the screens and features of the online course. So this is the portal to access the courses for Avoiding Plagiarism. This is what you will see when you log in. This is how you and your students will be accessing the course. So this has just loaded up the welcome screen, and this sets the scene for the course that the students will be taking. Here you can see the authors that have written the materials for the course, the learning outcomes, the course structure, some of the highlights to look out for, and also a list of all the supporting institutions who have helped create the course. We create our courses in collaboration with a lot of different universities, and these are listed here on every welcome screen for our courses. So starting with the first main screen of the first course, I'll begin by highlighting a couple of features relevant to all our courses and screens. At the top of every screen, we have a learning outcome, so that students are aware of what is going to be covered in the screen and what they should have learned or should be able to do after completing the screen. We also offer an estimated duration for each screen. Here, it's 6 minutes, so that students have an idea of how long it is likely to take to work through the screen. So now moving into the main screen content, this screen introduces the student voice into the course. We start with a text entry activity in which students taking the course can consider some key questions about plagiarism and note down their answers. This encourages reflection on some of their own existing knowledge, and it also encourages students to note down their thoughts. Then they move on to a video in which real students give their thoughts on the same questions. We try to use video as much as possible in our courses as it really helps to bring the material to life. This particular instance offers course users the opportunity to compare and contrast their own responses with those of the students featured in the video.
Plagiarism facts, copying somebody's exact words, it's academic fraud. For me,
so the videos are quite short and vox pop style, and it is engaging and interesting for students taking the course to hear what their peers have to say. It's also worth noting here that all videos come with a transcript. Also, all of our course screens have a text version, which you can access by clicking on this button here. So the course is fully accessible for those using screen readers or who are unable to use the interactive version for any reason. You'll see on the right-hand side of each screen we have these little boxes or pods as we call them, which contain supplementary information, links, definitions, activities, and so on. The type shown here is an optional activity pod, which invites students taking the course to extend or reflect on their learning in some way. In this case, we've suggested that they set up a discussion group with other students taking the course so that they can discuss issues that come up as the course progresses. This can help e-learning students feel like they are more of a learning community. So I've chosen this screen as it shows off a nice feature of this course, comic strips, helping to explain key learning points. In this case, poor old Tekla has written down a third-party quotation in his notes without a reference, and then goes on to reproduce the quotation in his essay as though it were his own words, only to be picked up for plagiarism by his teacher. We've had feedback from students who have taken the previous version of this course requesting more imagery, and we found these comic strips to be effective and engaging in other Epigeum programs. There are 3 comic strips in the Avoiding Plagiarism course. There's also a nice example of one of our interactive activities on this screen. This is a decision tree which students taking the course can follow to help them to decide how to appropriately quote, paraphrase, cite, and reference. They are asked whether their work contains any third-party material and then answer the questions yes or no to find the correct course of action. This activity helps to build up a thought process to help ensure that students always quote, paraphrase, cite, and reference correctly. So this is an example of a screen which provides an opportunity for students to taking the course to apply, test, and consolidate their learning. There are 2 quizzes on this screen, drawing together the concepts covered in this unit. This is a multiple choice quiz in which the user is presented with an example piece of material and then asked to decide whether or not they would need to acknowledge the material if used in their work. Users can see their score as they work through the quiz and receive feedback on each question. This next activity presents students with a piece of academic writing followed by various revisions of the text. Students have to decide whether each revision constitutes plagiarism or acceptable usage. Feedback is provided for each example. This kind of interactivity is a great way to keep students engaged and helps them to apply the principles they have read about to some real-world examples. Students can select an appropriate disciplinary area from the activity menu so they get to work through examples more relevant to their course of study. So this screen explains the difference between citations and references and how to compile them. This activity provides an opportunity for students to practice inserting correct citations for a variety of different sources, for example, books, journals, or websites. Examples are taken from a variety of disciplines, and this kind of activity keeps the learner active and engaged. The second activity here allows students to examine and understand all the different elements of an academic reference for a variety of different materials. Both Harvard and numeric styles are covered, and examples are taken from a variety of different disciplines. So on this screen you can see a lot of different pods. I'll talk you through a couple of them. So the useful links. There are lots of these pods throughout the course offering links to useful online resources that students can consult. This is an excellent way of providing an opportunity to explore topics in more depth without bloating the core course material. We create these pods in such a way that links can be replaced if or when they become inactive. And these are your context pods. In default mode, these encourage students to find out their institutional departmental guidelines in relation to a particular learning point. However, these pods are customizable, so universities can insert institution-specific text or links to the relevant resources so students have all the necessary information to hand. Finally, on this screen, I'd like to point out the Do This icon. We use this icon as a means of highlighting points of particular importance to the students. So this is the final screen I'd like to show you. The idea here is to provide links to a variety of articles about real-life cases of plagiarism, both to pique students' interest and show them how damaging the consequences of plagiarism can be. Again, this page is hosted by Epigeum, so articles can be swapped or removed if the links become inactive. I hope I've given you a good taste of the course content and some of the pedagogical features with this demonstration. If you have any questions, please do jot them down now, or feel free to contact someone at Epigeum after the webinar. Now I'll pass it back on to David.
Thank you, Sarah. I think one thing I should explain is how the courses are used. So you've actually got two, if you look at the screens, so you can see the course screens here, and these can be put into your, you can access the course into your VLE, or you can put them in our VLE. So the advantage of putting them in your own VLE is that you can, or LMS, you can change the course slightly. So you can add your own screens, you can delete screens, you can add links to your own resources, as Sarah said. So you can adapt the courses, and we can help you do that. So we can help you change the course, we can put it into your VLE for you, we can train your staff how to use it, and we can give you help on how to get it used at your institution. So that's the approach of putting it in your own VLE. But there is a process there. If you want to get up to speed very quickly, then you can simply use it in our virtual learning environment. The way that works is that you take a subscription to the environment, and then anybody with an email address from your institution can register at the environment for free. They take the course, they get a certificate, and they can either email that to you or bring it to class. Alternatively, you can log on to the system as an administrator and see what the students are doing. So those are the two approaches. If you want to integrate it closely into your own VLE and your own teaching and learning, then you can put it into your own system. If you want to get up and running quickly and easily, then you can use our system. Okay, so who's the course for? Well, it's designed for undergraduates and taught postgraduates, so master's students on the whole. PhD students can use it, but they probably need something, they probably need to supplement it with additional material. But it's suitable, it's designed for undergraduates and taught postgraduates. The course is suited to all discipline areas. So as Sarah said, there's multiple examples as you go through, whether it's social sciences, computing, natural sciences, etc. And very importantly, the course is accessible to both home and international students. So we're very careful to temper the language to make it accessible to international students. Okay, so the feedback from students has been very positive from the beginning, actually, but we have continually refined and updated the course. So 96% of students state the course to be effective in improving their understanding of how to avoid plagiarism. So of the remaining 4%, many of these are students who believe they knew it anyway. And 85% of the students state the quality of the course to be either high or very high. So students believe this is an effective way of equipping them with the knowledge of plagiarism they need in order to avoid it. So here's some quotes from the students. We could have provided more there. The students are very positive. They believe it's helpful, and what really came through in the quotes was that they wanted more effective training. So students drew comparisons between the 15-minute description in an induction session, or a handout, or a short session with the library. The students realise how important this is, or they quickly realise how important it is, and they want a thorough training in the subject. Okay, so hopefully we've explained what the course and the course system is. We've shown you the courses, shown you the response from the students. Hopefully we've convinced you that this can help you effectively train your students to avoid plagiarism, and used in conjunction with a plagiarism detection software such as Turnitin, this should really help you reduce the instances of plagiarism on your campus. So we'll move on to questions now. So we've got a question here from Joe. So hello to good evening in Australia, Joe. How much does it cost? Well, it's an annual subscription, and the cost is roughly £5,000 to £7,000 per year, something like that. But if you want a precise cost, then please contact Wendy Harbottle. It depends on the size of your institution, but it's of that order. It's not hundreds. It's not 10,000. It's a few £1,000 a year. And if you're interested in a trial or an exact price, then please contact Wendy, and she'll be happy to give you that. Just on the systems, the referencing systems, as Sarah said, it covers both Harvard and numerical. And if you put it in your own VLE, you can ensure that students are trained in the precise system that you use at your institution. Okay, well, I think we're done. So thank you very much. Hope you found this this interesting and useful to you. Feel free to try this out, the software. Take a free trial. Have a look at it, and if you'd like to, then please contact Wendy. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you join our project. So thank you.
I just wanted to add that we have also recorded this session, so you'll be able to access this early next week and send it to colleagues if you want to share the information you've just listened to. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.